What's good, everyone? Hope you guys are having a great start to your morning. I know I am. Excited to be here, see what we're going to get today. Again, so I'm looking for higher prices. Just need to make sure I can hear myself. Can you hear me? Yeah, I don't know why I can't hear myself. Oh, you can. Okay, cool. I don't know why it's delayed. All right, cool. As long as you can hear me, that's fine. Yesterday I felt like the stream was a little bit low. So if you guys could tell me how this sounds right now. Yesterday I just felt like it was really, really low. You had to like turn it really high. So I don't really know about the settings on this thing, but I hope that you guys can hear me and it's not like I'm whispering or you have to have it all the way up. I feel like I had to do that on YouTube. So if you guys could tell me that, I would definitely appreciate that. So today, again, we're looking for higher prices. We're going to be looking for the buy side from yesterday. I'm thinking that based off of what I've seen and what's been displayed, that we're going to have the weekly profiles most likely going to be, at least for today, I'm expecting, again, it can always change, but I'm expecting a expansion weekly profile, or the classic expansion weekly profile, which means that Monday is the low of the week and we continuously trade higher. Now that can change based off if we see specific things happening. We can that can change. Right now, just look on the 4-hour chart. We're looking at kind of what's happened. This is kind of what I do. This is my breakdown of how I'm looking at the market and what gives me the confidence or like to look for certain biases on the day outside of just the opening range gap. So we have roughly around like a 60, probably 70 handle open range gap, which is, I like, it's big. So we have this volume imbalance, this fair value gap formed here on the 4-hour chart, and we've recently, reacted a little bit off of it. We have this wick that we've respected. The wick is also can be seen as a gap as well, so that's something that we can notice. And how do we respond there? Yesterday we were inside of this gap, we traded above it, traded back down here, and are now up here above the high. Now we have come back down below the high. I'm still thinking, based off of what we're seeing, that this is probably where we're going to want to end up or looking at. This gap here was of importance to me yesterday, as was looking for price to trade back down to a discount. This was a gap. We had a nice reaction here, and then looking to see if we're going to trade above this high, the high from yesterday essentially, or the overnight high, Asia high. Essentially, that's what I'll be looking for. Longer term, looking for this buy side up here. I don't know if that's in the cards for today, but that's what I'll be looking for. 15-minute chart again. What are we seeing? Came down to an hourly gap here. Remember, there's multiple fair value gaps, so go up to a higher time frame to see if you can find one clear one, and we do that on the hourly chart. There's a clear fair value gap with an order block. So we go below a low, or we fail to go below this low. Actually, there's SMT between ES and Nasdaq, and I'm looking up here. That's where my target is. These lows here currently are very, very suspect. We may want to come back down here and then trade higher, but we'll look for that if that were to occur. If we get that scenario, that's essentially what I would be looking for. And this is why I'm saying this on the 5-minute chart. We have this gap here. These lows look really clean. We have SMT down here as well. It could come down here and clean this up as well, and then ultimately trade higher. But these lows right here look a little bit too clean for me. Maybe we want to reach down and to grab some of this. So these are the notations that I have specifically on my chart. Like again, I try to keep this very, very clean and not have too much on it so it doesn't push me one way or in another, or just be very, very confusing, not only for you guys but also for me. So that's what I'm looking for today. You know, I'm looking to see us trade higher, attack this buy side here, which would this is the current daily high, and then we have Asia high pretty much right here. So they're very close proximity. Now in terms of targets, what I would look for me personally, can it go higher? It definitely can. But I'll look for 25,850. That would be my first target, literally right there. And then 25,857 and a half will be the next target that I would be looking for. So that's how I'm viewing today. I want to see upside. If we come down below here, I'm not just gonna buy it. I'm not just gonna buy it. I'm just gonna wait for my setup if that were to occur, and then look forward to trade higher. So about like 14 minutes left until the market opens. And I just want to make sure, can you guys hear me and not like whispering terms? Like it's pretty loud. I don't need it to be screaming in your ears, but you guys can hear me all right? If I can just get like a yes or a number, that doesn't matter, just to let me know you guys can hear me and not like quietly. That would be helpful. So yeah, looking for upside. Remember, we have the new day opening gap, which is up here. I wish you could I guess I can draw. Forgot I can draw. New day opening gap is right here. And it's like this. If I extend it out, that's technically where it would be. So we have a lot of things where price could be wanting to draw up there. So that's what we're looking for. Looking for clear displacement, come back down, attack this buy side up there. That's what I would want to see. That's what I'm anticipating for today. Again, targets for the upside based on what I described would be here. This would be the first one, because I don't look for it to just go to the high. I want to see it go through the high. And then 25,857.50 right. That's not it. Right there. So these are the two levels I'm looking for targeting above this high. Can it go way more than that? Yes. Does it have to go up there? No, it doesn't even have to go up there either. But what I'm noticing right now is, as well, because I'm just watching price, we traded below this low, and the bodies as of right now, we're not able to trade and close below. So to me, that's a very, very good sign. And I understand we're ahead. We could probably still come back down here as well. But if not, if we run right above, I'd be looking for a fair value gap, any of that to form above here on an hourly chart, I believe, or maybe 15-minute chart. We have I think it's on the hourly chart. No, it's a 15-minute chart. We have this gap here, this fair value gap here as well. Probably if we went to a 30-minute chart. Yeah, so you have this gap here, just one trade above it, it would act as support. That's what I'll be looking for. So again, buy side is the direction for today. We do have ADP. We do have ISM numbers at 10 o'clock as well. So if it looks clean enough and gives us a nice opportunity, that's what I'll be looking for. Now, if it heads up here and then rejects prior and doesn't give anything, I'll have to weigh my options then to kind of see what's happening, to see what we're getting. specifically in price, and then how to react or respond to that. But that is what I'm looking for right now. So this will be target 1 for me, and this will be target 2. So that would be what I'm looking for. There's a nice range here. Very, very nice range where we could see price offer that. And you have about 10 minutes left. Hopefully it's not all the way up here. Then we have to, look at other things. Now in terms of, and this high, I think it's this one, was around 3. So let me just check. No, yeah, this high right here is around the 0.5 level extension from the midnight open or midnight opening range. So that high actually gets placed there, and the bodies really, really respect it on a 15-minute chart. So I always want to make sure that you're looking at multiple time frames, shifting through. Like if you saw me yesterday, I was looking at multiple time frames, going through, going down. Look at the bodies even on the 2-minute chart. 1-minute chart probably looks very similar. A little bit of coloring outside the lines, but again, these look very, very clean to me. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do that, especially with Nasdaq and how it usually likes to operate. Things are really, really clean. It'll just run real deep and then come back up. So that's what I'm expecting right now. We're hanging around a lot inside of the new week. The midnight opening range. So we'll look to see what that offers us today. I thought I was muted for a second. I was like, dang, I said all that was muted. But yeah, so we have a gap here. Let's see where we're in the beginning. This is the opening range gap high. Sorry, the opening range high. This should be not opening range gap. This is opening range high. Opening range high is from 9:30 to 10 a.m. So that high and low there, this is just the high. To go back, that's the high. So that's what I see. Like, you see how we're kind of consolidating. We keep drawing back to that as well. So it's a key level. That's what I'm looking for. And yesterday we went below, or last night we went below the PM session low here into a fair value gap. So let's see. I think this is a cool thing, or cool indicator, where it talks about, their little tilt thing on Top Step X. They show like how many of their traders are long or short, and right now more people are long than short in Nasdaq. Could be a good thing or could be a really bad thing. But we'll see. I think these lows might get cleaned up first, though. But again, I'm noticing on the 1 hour chart, right? We went above this high and rejected it. We didn't show displacement above this high either. So, watching that as well. We have this. I don't know. I guess you would call it an inverse. What is it called? Starts with I forget what it's called, but inverse suspension block, right? Because there's a volume imbalance there with that, so it'd be an inverse suspension block. That's what it would be called, technically. But yeah, we came up, rejected this high. It's an hourly high, but again, no displacement. We're really looking for displacement. Displacement is the indicator. That's what we're looking for. It's a key indicator. Sorry, I'm just watching and looking at some other things. We had ADP, FOMC news at 8:15. Like, it didn't really do much. So again, I'm watching, like, how are we reacting around lows? Are we showing displacement, or we keep going below a low and coming back up? That's the key indicator for me to say, okay, well, which side of the market should I be on? What should I be focused on right now? So that's what makes me want to just continuously look at it. Now we can go to a little smaller time frame, since we kind of know what we're looking at and looking for. I still want to be able to see some things. I want to be too zoomed in, because that's when you start to lose focus when you're too zoomed in. That's why having another chart on other screens with higher time frames helps. So you don't get stuck. So again, we couldn't, look on the 5-minute chart, right? We came below this low, and then we were unable to close below. Very, very key indicator. Key indication letting you know that it doesn't want to go lower. Wouldn't be surprised if we, start running up here quickly, but patience is key in this game. I don't need to be the first one in, ever. Don't need to be the first one in, but I definitely like to join in. That's how I look at trading. It's like everyone else, whoever wants to be first, you can be first. That's fine. But as long as I can frame a setup that makes sense, that can allow me to get to the move, that's all I care about. I don't need to be down here and it going up there. I need to get, if I can frame it here, and get to there, that's all that matters to me. That's all I care about. So yep, looking for higher prices right now. Look on the 5-minute chart. This is what we were watching. Notice how we went below this low. We came down again, but look at the bodies. The bodies are telling you this doesn't want to go lower. It's not looking for that. It's just running stops. It's just running stops continuously. So that's the sign you're looking for. If let's say you're bullish or you're bearish right now. When you look below the lows, are they leaving wicks and coming back up? Are they leaving wicks and coming back up? I don't like that. Like, sometimes ICT will take trades where like there's a wick, right? That's fine. Obviously he knows a lot more. I don't like taking trades like that. I need to show bodies covering it convincingly going below. So until you see that aspect, and let's say you're looking for shorts today, you have to see that signature. You're not getting that right now. At all. You're not getting that signature at all. So that's why I'm looking for up here. See if we're going to get that. And again, it could completely roll over. But if it shows that this displacement below, then that's showing something. But as of right now, it's not doing that. On the 1-minute chart, we have this gap here. Again, if I was confident before, that would be the trade to take all the way up there. But I don't need to be first. I'm okay with that. I think they could potentially still come back down here. See, I like to make this bigger so you can see, but I don't like to be too zoomed in because then I can't see. But that's what I'm looking for. We got like 2 minutes left. Because I don't like how these are. If I was confident, I'd be like, okay, buy it there. My stop loss would go below here because it's shown that it doesn't want to go higher. Go lower. And then do it up there. But I don't know how safe these are. So I'd rather wait since I don't know. but most people are long. I try not to like tap. I think I was tapping the table yesterday, and I heard it in this dream. I was like, dang, I didn't mean to do all that. But yeah, higher is where I'm looking right now. I want to see these targets hit. Five-minute chart looking good. Okay. Up here. Yeah, no rush. No need to get in. Let it do all it's going to do. Again, I'm thinking down here could potentially get tapped. But if it doesn't, that's fine. If we run up here first, then we have something different to think about. And we have ADP news, or ISM at 10 o'clock. So unless we get something a little bit cleaner before, we're good. I'm thinking down here potentially could get cleaned up before we go higher. I don't trust this at all. Again, let's look at the gap. Sorry, I didn't look at that right now. Let me look at the gap. The gap. Wait, where is it? I'm tripping. Okay, there it is. So the gap, we already hit 50% of the opening range gap from yesterday. Our opening gap range is 29.75 handles. So it's patience right now. This is the opening range high from yesterday. That's what that OR high is. It's just, I think it's pretty significant. That's why I put it there. Again, just filtering through the time frames because I want to make sure I'm seeing things properly and not just from one perspective, because you can get locked in on that. Get really, really locked in. So even when you're trading, just looking at all of them, don't get like stuck on the 1 minute chart. Especially with knowing that's where I enter on the 1 minute chart. So just moving around. 15-minute chart too. So again, we went above that high, went into this gap, hit the rejection block here. I'm thinking that just the way that it's reacting right now, it still wants to go higher. Let's look at ES. So ES has currently taken out its lows down here, and Nasdaq as of right now has not. So noticing that as well. It's a little bit stronger, it looks like. So again, what we're watching down here now as well is how does this respond down here? Does this just start bleeding, or is it just peeking its head and then trying to just go higher like what we're expecting? So I'm hoping this doesn't just run up there. If it does, then that's what happens today. Is that the 1 minute chart? Okay. So if we can get a nice close above there, I like that. And I'm willing to take, if it creates a fair value gap, I'm willing to take that. But I have to see that stuff. If I don't see that stuff, then there's nothing to do. But that's what I'm expecting us to do. Hopefully we don't just run straight up there. If we can create this vacuum block Oh, sorry, suspension block. I'm tripping. Down to there. I'll take 4 should be good. I have to see. We just can't trade up there immediately right now, because if we do that, then there's nothing there for me. Yeah, I like that. So if we can trade down into that here, I'll take probably, no, yeah. If we can trade back down, I'll buy it. I'm so used to, what should we call it? Trading view. Yeah, bullish towards that, yeah. But hopefully we don't just run up there. If we do that, then I missed the entry. I might do that. I have to be patient though. I can't just get in it because I think it's gonna go up there. I'm not just gonna buy it, right? That'll make no sense. Yeah. I want to see it retrace. Like I know it's going up here. I just want to see it retrace. That's what I want to see. It retrace back down and not just run straight up there. If it does that, then waiting until 10 o'clock is going to be my best option right now. That's why on this I was looking at to see what are the bodies doing. They didn't show any displacement below this low, so that's letting me know that that's a stop run. Just be patient. I don't want to buy it up there. I want to see it come down if it can. There's a gap here, that's fine. But I'm not buying up there. What I may look at is, so roughly, yeah, down here is where I'm looking for. I'm just looking on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, I'd want to see that. Yeah. I'm going to enter there. If it goes down there, I'll buy. I'm going to buy there. I'm okay with that. Okay with that entry. So I'm buying there. Looking to see if we can get out above there, above the high. I like that. This close proximity entry with this wick, I'm okay if it comes back down and gives me a better entry. That's fine because I can add on more here if I need to. Based off my risk parameters, I can add probably like 2 more. So if it does trade a little bit deeper, I will add 2 more. If it's able to give it to me. If it's not, no, it's the OR is the first hour fair value gap high. That's where it is. So if we're able to trade again deeper, I'll add 2 more to my position if it's able to do that. If it's not, then it stays where it's at right now. I'll take 1 off here too. I always gotta make sure I do this right. Hold on, let me do this. So if it hits there, I'll take 1 off. I'll sell 1. No, so the OR is the opening range high, so it's 9:30 to 10 o'clock. That's the high that's there, that you see that line there. That's essentially what I'm explaining and what I'm looking at. That's what I'm expecting to see. So if we can trade up here, I'll buy, I'll sell 1. The reaction I am liking, we left a wick down there. We were unable to trade this one, but we, kind of traded into this one. That's why I was okay with taking it. And then with the risk I saw, I understand I'm able to, personally, I'm able to add more in. So that's why I'm okay with that. And so if we hit up there, I'll sell one. I kind of want to place one there. Limit sell one. Yeah, limit sell. So limit sell one will happen there. We could trade up to that. And then we'll see how it's reacting there. If we get a good reaction there, then that's kind of what I'll expect there. So if we hit there, then I'll reduce some of my risk as well. We can take out one there. Getting close to that high from yesterday. But I think that's for sure where the draw is, up here. Especially after what we saw down here. Again, I would not want to see it come all the way back down here, but it's possible. And again, I said I'll add one more. I'll add two more, actually, if it does that. That's how I'm looking at today. And again, once you put on a trade, all you can do is manage it, right? There's really nothing else that you can do. Nothing else that I can do. Nothing, you know, all the charting work I've done isn't going to do anything either. That's what you do before you put the trade on. So all I can do is follow my rules and do what it says to do. And when I see that taking place, or when I see that action, that's when I look to do something. So if this goes up there, I'll reduce my risk a little. Okay, a little bit. I want to see if it can reach all the way up there. If we can, bet there we go. Quick day. There we go. That's today's trade. That's it. Nothing else. Okay, so that was the trade setup. We can go over that. It's a quick one today, boys. Pizzas for everyone, right? My boy, pizzas for everyone. So again, we're looking for specifically price to trade up higher to here. Can it go way higher than this? I'm sure it can. I'm not necessarily worried about that at all either. This is just where I was looking for, right? Do I teach? So I am starting a Discord soon. I haven't really got into how I want to do all that stuff yet. It is there. There is a free option. There is a paid option. And yes, I can teach. What I try to do is pretty much help you come up with a way that you can see the market yourself that makes sense to you. What I found was when I went to a lot of other people's channels, I was trying to copy exactly what they were doing, and it doesn't help, right? It doesn't help. So what I try to do is help you frame the market the way that makes sense to you. So for me, for instance, like the way I saw this trade, how I took it was there was no displacement below lows. I didn't trust that. I waited for it to come down to a discount and I bought it, right? So I'm not here to tell you this is how you need to read price. This is how you do. That doesn't help you if you don't understand, if it doesn't make sense to you. So it's like looking at the market. What do you see there? Like you could have seen this wick, right? ES took previous week high. Okay, let's see. Sorry, let me just finish this before I go look at that. So if this is not making sense to you, right, then it doesn't matter. So if you see this wick here and this wick makes sense to you and you like trading that, that's all that matters to you, right? There was times early on when I was learning ICT, when I was learning all of that stuff, that what ended up happening was I would have too much stuff going on, right? Way too much stuff going on. So what you want to do, and like what I try to help you do, is to strip everything. Like make it so it's so easy, right? There's not much on my chart other than this opening range high that I believe from yesterday would be important. And remember, ICT always talks about highs and lows, right? We're looking for highs and lows. So if highs and lows are what's mainly important, all the other stuff he teaches, if something sticks to you, like the what is it called? The suspension block. That's probably one of my favorite entries. I like it. It didn't even reach down there, but I was like, okay, well, if I saw this gap here. I was like, okay, if it comes down there, I'm just gonna take it, and if it trades deeper, then I'll add more to it, right? So what happens with a lot of, or at least when I was trading earlier on, I tried to put my heaviest leverage in upfront and just waiting for it to be precise, right? Sometimes you're waiting for too much precision, you don't get it. Especially when you're trading with ICT concepts, you could be literally waiting for this and you just miss this and you watch it happen. I'd rather take a little bit more drawdown with less leverage, knowing I can add on to my trade, rather than waiting for this and it doesn't happen. I've just seen that too many times in my trading. I'm like, you know, it is what it is, right? I just rather not do it. So this is pretty much like just the idea and the mindset of what I try to help you obtain. Because Tick Phantom, I don't know where you are in your trading journey, but I'm sure you know enough. What happened to me was like, I felt like I didn't know enough. So it stopped me from doing things like this, but I knew exactly what I needed to do. I just didn't have the right process or program that allowed me to then do this, right? That was my issue, right? That was my issue 100%. I was like, I know when I see this, I know I'm supposed to wait for discount. I know I'm supposed to do this. I know, but I wouldn't do it. So it's like creating that framework that allows you to do that. So Tick Phantom, you can message me on Instagram if you want, on the socials, and we can just talk about that and see that. Not necessarily saying, hey, I'm going to teach you, but just like some things that maybe can help you, you know, kind of, and ask yourself questions to see like where can you help with that. Yeah. So just if you message me and we can just talk about that. But pretty much like, yeah, I'm done for today. So like discount, let me lock it right now. Let's lock me out all day. This is also why I like Top Step a little bit, because I'm done. Like I can lock myself out. There's no way I can lose more. I can't lose any money today, right? Yeah, see, you know way too much, but you can't figure out why. I'm telling you, it's the analysis paralysis. Like I've been doing this for 5 years. I found the same model, all the stuff I'm trading, I found less than a year to when I was trading, when I started learning ICT. I found ICT in 2021. And when I found them in 2021, the same model, I'm trading the same thing. All I did was add multiple things in there to make it even more confusing. And then I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I need to stop. Okay, I need to figure out what's wrong, and then let's, figure that process out. So that's kind of what I went to and went through to get to this point where it's like, this is what I'm waiting for, right? So yeah, just reach out to me on there. I think my socials, they should be in the YouTube, or it's Pipcasso FX. I think it's down there at the bottom. I'm sorry. It's down at the bottom. It says that. We can just ask questions. We can just talk. And nothing has to be like, you don't have to pay for anything. We can just talk and just kind of see, and maybe there's some things that I can help you with there. But just kind of going over this trade again, the 5-minute chart right here. We're going below lows, but not showing any displacement below lows. So with no displacement below lows, that's a stop run indication clearly. Like it's telling you that I don't want to go any higher, right? Or sorry, go any lower. Cool. So we had that idea from the higher time frame down from 4 hour to 1 hour to 15 minute and to the 5 minute. Also, Tick Phantom, what I do a lot of is I just observe. So I think in order to become the trader that you know you want to become, that you are physically capable of becoming, sometimes we put too much emphasis on like having to know exactly what it's about to do right now. So what I like to do is I just go to a higher time frame and then I just look. I don't have any notations on, like you see this. I just look at the chart and I say, okay, what's happening? What can I see? What observations can I pull from the chart right now? So this low, I saw, okay, well, we didn't go below this low. It didn't even expand below that low. Let me go look at ES. So I went to go look at ES. ES went below the low. I said, okay, cool. So we have SMT there. Okay, that's a nice observation. Then, and this, I start this from the 4 hour and I go all the way down to the 1 hour. I go all the way down to the 15 minutes, the lowest I go. And then again, So we didn't have that. We had SMT there. Expansion away, we have a fair value gap. What happens there? We hit it there, then we trade above this high. Okay, cool. So we keep going above highs, but we show no willingness to go below any lows. Then I just go down to the next time frame. Originally, when I first started, I saw this gap with this. I didn't trust that much. I didn't really trust it. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it can come back down. But then here are 5-minute lows right here. Let me put on this. Here are 5-minute lows here on top of the opening range high from yesterday, right? So now we're stacking what's happening with what it's presenting itself, right? So these are all occurring at key levels, right? That's what we all always care about, is what's happening around a key level. I could care less about what's happening just at a random level during the chart. So wherever the key level is, that's what's important to me. So again, a key level, we go below a low, and we cannot go below it. It's showing no displacement. Cool. So we have this high from yesterday, these targets I was looking at based off of the opening range, or midnight opening range. That's why I had these 2 targets there. And so then with that understanding, we have the opening range high, we go down to a lower time frame. Again, we always want to filter the time frame so we don't get stuck. What would happen early on in my trading is I would get very stuck on the 1-minute chart and I wouldn't move. So I'd be sitting there for like 15, 20, 30 minutes looking at a 1-minute chart, not observing what's happening on a 5-minute chart, 3-minute chart, 2-minute chart. Because sometimes the 3-minute chart is clearer. It allows me to see everything I need to see at better than it does on a 1-minute chart. And my setup would happen on a 3-minute chart, but on a 1-minute chart, I can't tell. So just always going through and looking. Unfortunately, on Top Step X, you can't do the 4-minute chart for whatever reason. I don't know. But then again, on the 1-minute chart, okay, we hit the key level. Here's already a play right here. If you like that, I didn't trust that then. I explained early on, if I did trust it, I would have bought it inside of here. I didn't trust this part down here. That's why I was not interested. So then when it came up, it was up here. I said, okay, well, I'm not buying it. It needs to come down. That's what it did. Again, there's 2 fair value gaps. If you go to the 2-minute chart, it's not going to show it. I checked that. It wasn't there. So when it came down, I think I bought it a little bit early, but coming down here was fine. When I looked at my risk and saw it wasn't, I'm risking 250 a day. I was risking, I think, 170 something today. So I knew that if it came back down into this gap, I would just add more. So I'd rather be in the move than to get precision. It's okay. I'm okay with risking the extra whatever drawdown it would have been to get to here if it decided to do that and then run up here. And so these were just my projections, and then that's why I'm out. Like, as long as I can do that, then that's it. So that's pretty much like the rundown of the trade, or today's trade, of what I was looking for. Again, I can put on the things so we can see where I entered exactly. I just don't like it when it's on there when I'm trading, because then I can't see. So that's where I bought. I took one off at this high, because again, it can always come back up there and trade lower. That's fine. And then I took one, and then I took the last one off right here, off a projection of the midnight opening range. So again, keys, highs, and lows, that's all I'm looking for. And so from there to there, that's good. And then I'm happy with that, and happy with how I was able to look at the price and then just pretty much do what it's going to do anyways, right? And so we got to remember always, like when we're in our charts and we're trading, the price, just because we know a lot about ICT or just because we know a lot about trading, doesn't make the charts move. That's not what makes it move. It moves based off the algorithm, right? So I can know all this information, and then what I want to do is observe to see if what I know is actually occurring. If what I know is not happening, then something's off, right? Either I'm on side or I'm off sides, or there's a heavy manipulation occurring, right? So those are the two things that are happening, and so that's just what we're looking for, right? So I obviously want to screenshot this because, again, note taking is really big. I also Tick Phantom, if you can, if you have it, show me like what you do at the end of the day, like end of a trading day. If you could just like screenshot that or show that, So if you do that for me, you can send that to me. Then I can also look at that, because that also will help me see what potentially could be, could do better. I don't know. I'm just not sure about that. But yeah, so today, like, go in and talk about if you took a trade. I don't know. If you did, then that's talk about that. If not, then I want you to talk about this as well. I want you to talk like you did take this trade. That's also helps you a lot. Like, say you took the trade. I took the trade. I took it here. Did everything I thought it was going to do. And I got out at a reasonable spot. I took partials. Boom. Like, that's it. It doesn't have to be too complicated, right? But yeah, I'm about to head off. I actually have some other things to do. But I appreciate everyone for stopping by. I hope you guys have okay, no trades today? Okay, cool. Yeah, so I would go back in, and if this fits your framework, right, actually fits your trade setup and framework, then that's when I would tell you to go. If this doesn't fit your framework, doesn't fit your setup, it has nothing there, then I wouldn't even look at it. Right? Most of the time, also, this was another thing that I did, right? When ICT would take a trade, and let's say I saw nothing there, like nothing there that made any sense to me, I would try to force myself to see something there that I didn't see. So I was like, well, if ICT took this trade, then I have to take this trade. That's not it. Or if someone else took the trade, right? Took along from the BISI and got stopped out. What BISI? This one? Took along from this BISI and got stopped out? The one at 934? So this is what helped me in my trading, right? When I took this, that's why you saw me do this, right? I don't want to take buys in BISIs that are in premiums. A premium market BISI, I'm not as confident in taking. Like, if you look at the one from yesterday, even though I was able to win yesterday, even though that was there, I was not as confident in that one because it didn't come back down. It came back down in its range. Like, if we go to yesterday, right? It ticked my stop loss. So where'd you put your stop loss below here or there? Yeah, I'm not sure where exactly you put your stop loss at, but that's what we're like. If we look at yesterday's trade, here it is, right? See, I wanted to come back down a little bit lower. See, like, trades like these, just in my opinion, I don't like them as much when they don't come back down to a discount. If they do, like, I put way less leverage on because just in case it comes back down. This one, obviously, you see if you take from high to low, it came back down. Those are better, but obviously we're up a little bit high. Didn't trade all the way up to where the high that it traded to today. But yeah, so you want to take trades. Like, your better trades are going to come down to a discount. I don't know why I did that. I can just do this. So that's pretty much like what I liked and what I waited for. So that was what that's what I discovered when I kept taking trades and losing them, and they would go in the right direction. So another thing also that'll help you is I have an account on TradingView, and the only rule that I have is to take every single trade that I see. Like, when I think it's a buy, I buy. When I think it's a sell, I sell. That's what I do. And that's what I discovered was I kept buying BISIs and premiums, and I kept selling SIBIs in discounts. And so what would happen is I'd buy it up here, I'd be in all this drawdown, and then I'd see it go. And so then the next thing I was like, okay, well, if I keep doing that, then what do I have to do? Let me just wait for OTE. Let me just wait for the expansion to come back down. That's why I didn't buy there. I was like, I'm not doing that. Not doing it. It has to come back down, right? And so we want to 948, 946. What's that? 9.46. What is that? I'm not sure what you mean by that. But also yesterday, remember I told you this is a long trade for me? It was like 20 minutes and hadn't hit anything, right? For me, that's a very, very long trade. That reaction. Okay. Okay. I see. But yeah, I don't think I screenshotted this. The BISI on at 946 though. I don't see that one. You're talking about this one, right? Am I on a different time frame? 9.4. Yeah, I don't know which BISI you're talking about. Oh, this one. It's about this one right here? Or are you talking about yesterday? I can't tell if you're talking about yesterday or today. Like for me, buying above, like I'm much happier that I took this here than trying to figure out what's happening now. Like right now, what's happening, I can't tell you. I have no idea what's happening right now. I know it's consolidating, but that's what I didn't want to see. I didn't want it to come up here first and then come, because then I would have negated a lot of the things that I was looking for. So that was pretty much my. I need to screenshot this because it. Fortunately, it doesn't take it with the. Doesn't take it with the notes. It just takes it blank. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, so right now, like, can it go higher or lower? I mean, it hit above this high. Potentially could go lower. We have SMT here as well. So potentially we could come out and run this stuff down here. That could be the 1030. Let me look at the 5-minute chart. You do have a fair value gap there. Dang, I was pretty close to the high right now. How many handles? 22 handles off. I'll take that. But yeah, so I'm thinking potentially we could maybe come clean this up. I don't know, but I don't want to. I'm good without. So yeah, just I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Remember the 15-minute chart also, we have this gap, so be aware of that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for coming by. Again, hit me up on Instagram if you have any questions about, you know, not just more than just today, but yeah, just ask any questions. I'll answer them, you know, when I can. But yeah, I appreciate everyone. I hope you guys have a great day, great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow because I'll be on tomorrow as well. I'll be trading tomorrow. Potentially, we'll see what the market gives, but if it's not anything I'm willing to risk, then you will see TradingView and not this. So this is also the biggest thing to know. If I'm actually interested in a day, you'll see Top Step. If I'm not interested in a day, you will specifically see TradingView. That is done intentionally as well for me and also for you guys. So I hope you guys, I've said this like 15 times. I do this when I talk too, but I hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hit me up. Peace out, guys.